Right now on WPBF 25 News at 6.
All lives matter.
A call for justice, transparency, and peace as hundreds rally to remember Corey Jones.
Speak comfort to my soul.
As the crowd gathered to sing and pray together, we learned crucial new information about the night a local police officer shot Jones to death on the side of the highway. But many questions still remain.
We are calling for a separate and independent investigation into this killing.
Let's keep the beat alive for Corey Jones.
And the drumbeat, really a rising call for the truth, will go on today. The voices of hundreds demanded the truth about the death of Corey Jones. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Todd McDermott.
And I'm Felicia Rodriguez. And Todd, you were out there with the large crowd who gathered outside the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department. And so were several other members of our WPBF 25 News team. We have extensive live team coverage of the rally and the brand new information we have learned about the investigation into Jones' death in just moments. But first, let's briefly recap some of the latest information that we have learned. We now know Officer Newman Raja fired 6 shots at Corey Jones, hitting him 3 times. We also know that Jones did not fire any shots back at Officer Raja and was killed about 80 to 100 feet from his car that had broken down on the southbound I-95 off-ramp in Palm Beach Gardens. Reverend Al Sharpton has also issued a statement today saying he is coming to Palm Beach County in just a matter of days. We will read you his full statement shortly.
Now, we stood in the middle of that swelling crowd this morning outside the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, watching the people of the county unite with one purpose. People of every race stood outside the PD, united not in anger, but in prayer and in hope. They hope public pressure will lead to a transparent, independent investigation to confirm what really happened when an officer in T-shirt and ball cap jumped out of that unmarked van to find Corey Jones standing by his crippled car. The family addressed the crowd minutes after, according to their attorney, Benjamin Crump. They were given several new facts by the state attorney. They were told the fatal shot hit Corey Jones' aorta. And as you heard, they were told Jones never fired his legal licensed firearm. But if anybody expected anger or a call for agitation from Corey Jones' church-going family, they were disappointed. His older brother, Clinton C.J. Jones, wiped away tears to talk with pride about the brother he loved and to make a moving call for unity.
Everybody knows Corey, and know Corey would never, ever, 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 ever go against the law and pull out no gun. So we will get the facts, and oh my gosh, this justice will be served. Look around it to your left and your right. Somebody might not be that color. All lives do matter. So when you put up black lives, you're isolating everybody else. So please do not put black lives up without saying all lives.
Corey Jones' father asked for all those who gathered outside the police department today to help him as a family deal with the loss of his son. He called his pain heavy. So much emotion in his voice today. There were calls today for the independent investigation, even a call for the U.S. Department of Justice to take over to determine exactly what happened early Sunday morning. As one speaker said, it comes down to 3 words: need to know. Again, not just Corey Jones, grieving family members spoke today. Angela Rozier was at the rally with me this morning. She's in Palm Beach Gardens tonight. Angela, several of those speeches, very powerful and very moving.
Very moving indeed. And as you said, they're asking for justice for the Corey Jones family, an independent investigation. And Todd, they do not want the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office involved.
What do we want? Without transparency, perception becomes reality.
Thursday's rally was about getting justice for Corey Jones. One Palm Beach County commissioner suggested changing the criminal justice system.
We've got to have a reform of our criminal justice system. You know, we just can't have people who reach for the gun instead of talking, you know, or who reach for the gun and cannot reach for a taser or something else other than a gun.
Let me assure you that it's not just you who are here today who want answers. I am convinced that everybody in our community is also looking for these answers.
A friend and college classmate of Jones says, for starters, people shouldn't jump to conclusions when there's a shooting.
The first thing that happens when somebody is shot by the police, it doesn't matter if anything's been said yet, they tried to criminalize that individual, white, black, whatever. They're looking for where he came from. They're looking for who was he with last. They're looking for where he hangs out. They're looking for if he graduated from high school. They're trying to criminalize the deceased before anything happens with justice.
Many are calling for an independent investigation.
The public, to put it bluntly, does not trust the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department with this investigation.
And also, Todd, I talked to an attorney who was here at the rally earlier today. He says there's going to be a seminar 2 weeks from Saturday at Suncoast High School. That seminar will teach the public what their rights are when they're confronted by a law enforcement officer. Todd?
Angela, we were staying there listening to the speakers, and I know that when it was over and we were back live on the air, you were able to talk to some fathers who were at that rally who have some very serious concerns about an issue we've heard much about. That's the safety of their sons when it comes to interactions with police.
That's right. One father told me that this rally just shows that his concerns are legit. He tells me he had a talk with his son, telling him about being careful and not hanging out with the wrong crowd and being careful when confronted by a law enforcement officer. Todd?
That's Angela Rozier. Great work tonight and today, Angela. Thank you.
Reverend Al Sharpton was not in attendance at today's rally, but he released this statement saying, I have talked to the family members and the attorney of Mr. Jones, and at their request have decided to become involved in seeking the facts, and based upon the facts, justice in this case. I intend to be in Palm Beach County in a matter of days based on the request and guidance of the family and their attorney. The preliminary facts given by the police to the family are disturbing and troubling to National Action Network, and we intend to give our full support to further inquiries and the pursuit of justice in this matter.
Well, now you've heard tonight from Corey Jones' family and the other speakers today, but the real strength of this event came from the hundreds of other people who showed up to be part of that call for the truth.
Our team coverage continues now with Ari Hyde. And Ari, I know a lot of people told you out there this morning they showed up because they really feel for this family.
Now, there were about 300 or so people here for this rally, and of that number, only a handful ever knew Corey Jones or ever knew any member of Corey Jones's family. But they say there was something about this that forced them to come out to show support. People in the crowd brought signs declaring they all stand together as they seek justice for Corey, justice for the family of Corey Jones, grieving since he was killed on Sunday.
I was absolutely sick to my stomach, and I thought about how any mother must feel about getting that type of news.
First of all, my heart would crush when I first heard about it. And then I said there's another black life that is taken.
Thursday morning, those with broken hearts joined together. Hundreds of people packed into a parking lot outside of the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department for a rally. The message here, clear and consistent. This was a rally for transparency, a rally for answers, and a rally for peace.
We needed this rally to heal the community because we're hurt, as you can tell from being here all morning. The community's hurting.
We need peace. We don't want to be violent. Corey wasn't a violent person, so this displays who he was.
The crowd listened as speaker after speaker took the mic. They all cheered together, sang together, and they prayed together. Amen. In the end, they say all they want are answers.
We just want to know the truth, and we deserve justice.
If it was an accident, it was an accident. If it was murder, it was murder. If something happened, tell us.
The city of Palm Beach Gardens was also a part of this rally. They helped with the setup. They helped with the tearing down of that part. They also provided the stage for this. But in the end, all city officials, all police officers stayed in the background. Felicia?
Ari, you mentioned the city officials, the police. We know there was a lot of security at this event, making sure that everyone stayed safe. But it really was a peaceful gathering out there today.
Absolutely, and for that I give almost entirely all the credit to the family of Corey Jones. They were so adamant about the fact that this was going to be a peaceful rally. They reiterated that time and time again throughout this rally, and I think for that reason, that is why the crowd stayed peaceful and we had no trouble at all out here today.
Very true. Ari, thank you for all your work today. City Hall will be back open tomorrow in Palm Beach Gardens, along with the Weiss School. Both were shut down today due to the rally. The next scheduled gathering is a town hall meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church in West Palm Beach. Well, we turn our attention now from the rally to the official investigation into Corey Jones' death.
A lot of questions still remain, but we learned some key new details today about the shooting. Whitney Burbank joins us live. Whitney, the Jones family got some very important answers today from State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg.
Todd, Felicia, the attorney says Jones tried to run away before he was shot multiple times, but we still don't know what led to the shooting early Sunday morning. Jones, alone on the side of the road, approached by a man without a uniform, a police car, or a badge.
Imagine yourselves on the side of the road at 3 in the morning, abandoned. The sense of concern you will have.
Attorney Benjamin Crump says Palm Beach Gardens police officer Newman Raja never showed a badge when he pulled up next to Corey Jones early Sunday morning.
You know, he rolls up on him in an unmarked white van with tinted windows. He doesn't know if he's about to be mugged, if he's about to be robbed, if he's about to be killed.
Both men in possession of a gun. Crump says only Raja wound up pulling the trigger.
Corey Jones never fired his weapon. Never fired his weapon. That is confirmed. The officer fired 6 times.
Crump says 3 of those bullets struck Jones. He says at some point Jones tried to run away. His body found nearly 80 feet from his car. It had broken down on an exit ramp when Officer Raja pulled over. Police aren't saying what transpired between Jones and the plainclothes officer.
How did Corey know that this was a police officer? Why didn't he identify himself? Why didn't he show the badge?
Unanswered questions haunting this grief-stricken family. Crump says the state attorney's evidence is limited to Raja's account of what happened. He's hoping forensic investigators will provide a more complete picture, but it will take time, possibly weeks, for that information to be released. Live in the newsroom, Whitney Burbank, WPBF 25 News.
All right, Whitney, thank you. And if you're just getting dialed into this story, we want to take a moment to get you caught up on the timeline of events.
Now, the shooting happened about 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Corey Jones' car, that Hyundai you've seen in the video, broke down on the southbound off-ramp of I-95. Officer Newman Raja was on undercover surveillance at the DoubleTree Inn after a string of car break-ins. He was in jeans, a T-shirt, and a ball cap, and as you just heard, apparently no visible badge.
Now, police say Officer Raja drove over in his unmarked passenger van to check out what he thought was an abandoned car. A source tells WPBF 25 News that Raja claims Jones pulled a gun on him as soon as he approached and said, "Man, are you all right?" Raja said he then fired 2 to 3 shots at Jones, who was standing behind his open driver's side door. He said Jones then took off running.
Again, the officer says those first shots did not hit Corey Jones. Officer Raja told investigators he tracked Jones as he ran away and saw him make it to the guardrail west of the car, about 80 to 100 feet away. The source at Raja told investigators he could see the flickering silver of a laser sight on Jones' gun. That's when he took aim and fired 2 more times. Now, investigators did find Jones' semi-automatic pistol, Jimenez Arms semi-automatic, with 6 live rounds still in the magazine, but the pistol was apparently found just outside the car. Jones never fired his weapon.
You can get all of the latest information as well as our previous stories on this case right now on WPBF.com. We have them all in one place in a special section right at the top of our homepage. Well, we are following several other breaking stories right now.
2 former school district employees under arrest tonight after leaving a special needs student alone on a bus for hours.
And today, homes evacuated after this brush fire in Loxahatchee. Those stories next. You're watching WPBF 25 News at 6.
Following breaking news right now in Loxahatchee, where people are now being let back into their homes. They had to evacuate because of a brush fire.
Sonica Dange is live on the scene working the latest developments for us. Sonica?
Well, Felicia and Todd, fire rescue crews first arrived on scene just after 2 on F Road in Loxahatchee. And as you mentioned, they did evacuate homes. They also moved 4 horses as a precautionary measure. All of that is now taken care of. The residents of those homes now being allowed to go back. Those horses are in good condition. As you can see, units behind me are now demobilizing, and they are now getting rid of the drop tank they were using to fight that fire. But I did speak to Albert Baroto of the fire rescue, who tells me they've still got some stuff to do tonight.
Got our brush trucks in there with forestry. We're going to be applying water to it from the cut line back into the fire to try to extinguish as much of it and keep it from jumping the lines.
6 brush trucks are in there right now, and as he mentioned, they will be working that fire until sunset. That's around 6:46, so they've got about 20 more minutes to work on that fire. But of course, the big concern here is that wind. Let's turn it over now to Chris Martinez for more on that. Chris?
Sonica, the good news is the winds are not as gusty as they were about 24 hours ago, and as you can see, live winds in and around the area, anywhere between 8 and 15 miles per hour. So as they mop up that area in Loxahatchee, the winds are kind of on our side, as they're not going to be as windy, anywhere between 8 and 15 miles per hour. More on your forecast, including rain and the weekend, in less than 2 minutes.
Chris, thank you. More live local late breaking news now. 2 people arrested in connection with a special needs child who was left in a Palm Beach County school bus for more than 5 hours. A short time ago, School Superintendent Robert Avosa announced the bus driver and an aide are charged with neglect.
I believe that an individual who makes that kind of decision or neglect at this level, it's risen to the state of being arrested. I think you should be held accountable.
The student was picked up at school. When the driver completed the bus route, she dropped off the vehicle at the bus depot in Boynton Beach. 3 hours later, a mechanic found that child.
Right now, West Palm Beach police are on scene after a body was found near railroad tracks. This is all happening at Australian Avenue in Tamron. Witnesses say the victim was talking on his cell phone and went under the railroad crossing bars over the tracks and was hit.
We have an important alert for people who live in Tequesta tonight. A water main break has left dozens of homes without water. This is what's going on. Crews are working to get this fixed, but city officials from Tequesta are alerting people who are impacted they could be without water for several hours right now at dinner time. After service returns, a boil water notice will be issued.
And a good Thursday evening. Live First Alert Doppler radar showing a quick moving flyby showers, 1 or 2 out there as forecasted, especially as they fly by on our east and northeasterly winds. We do have a few scattered light to moderate showers right now working just outside of Palm Beach Gardens and up towards the Treasure Coast, some right offshore out towards the Gulf Stream, and now moving in towards Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie. I tell you what, these are quick moving showers, 1 or 2 minute it rains, and then they are on to the west. So again, those will be in the forecast for the rest of the evening. Rain coverage is at about 20%. Temperatures tonight, again with the breeze still up there, only into the low to mid 70s again. Tomorrow we'll see a few morning showers possible, so those quick flyby showers are in the forecast, and then back into the low to mid 80s with partly cloudy skies. So basically a carbon copy of what we saw today. 84 officially at PBIA, another kind of nice day, right where we should be for the daytime high. Morning start, a balmy 76, but it was breezy. We do have some dry air that is sitting right on top of us, but it's into the upper levels of the atmosphere. Winds still coming right off the ocean. That's why we see those quick moving showers, but we're not going to see too much of the heavy rain or any kind of tropical rains, as we do have this dry air, and high pressure continues to dominate the forecast as we move through the next 24 to 48 hours. But as it does shift towards the south and southeast, what we're going to notice is the breeze will start to diminish just a little bit. So we get out of the windy category. We now transition to the breezy category, and really a nice weekend sets up as some more of that dry air sits right on top of South Florida this weekend. Looks like a lot of sunshine and just about a 10 to 20% chance for showers. And as you can see, quick moving flyby showers we hit through the overnight again on Friday, and then as dry air settles in into Saturday and Sunday, just a picture perfect weekend. Upper 60s tonight across Okeechobee, low to mid 70s down I-95 from Boca Raton in towards Vero Beach, back to the low to mid 80s for your daytime highs. And again, Friday night football, looks good, nice and comfortable with mid-70s. Small craft advisory in effect as we're talking about seas 4 to 6 feet and looking at choppy conditions on the inland waterways. Here's a look at South Florida's most accurate 2020, and maybe then the 30, but right now as we see it, weekend looks good.
All right, Chris, thank you.
More WPBF 25 news right after the break. If you're just having to join us now, we want to recap our major breaking news story of the day. New information about the death of Corey Jones and a huge rally requesting an independent investigation.
Hundreds of people turned out for a peaceful rally asking for justice and transparency in the investigation of Corey Jones' death. We learned today from the family's attorney that Officer Newman Raja shot Jones 3 times. Jones did not fire his gun.
And apparently Jones was shot as he ran away, his body some 100 feet away from his disabled vehicle. You can get all the latest information and our previous stories on the Corey Jones case right now on our website. That's WPBF.com. We have all the stories in one place in a special section right there at the top of our homepage. I'm Todd McDermott with Felicia Rodriguez. You're watching WPBF 25 News at 6.
We'll see you back here tonight at 11.
We're grateful you joined us today. David Muir and World News is next.